Alright guys, ZFR back here for a quick video about The Walking Dead. And this video, I am talking about the Loran Cohan situation, and this really sucks for The Walking Dead if this means what we all think it is. So if you don't know, Loran Cohan has basically been signed up for a role. If I'm correct, I think it was a major role for a different show or something like that. She's pretty much in something else, and it's a big role. And a lot of people are thinking that this probably means she's not doing Walking Dead um, during season 9. She's not going to be in season 9 or any of the seasons after that of Walking Dead, that she's just completely done. Now, let me just start by saying that's not necessarily true. There are a ton of other deals they could work out with her being in episodes here and there. You know, it all comes down to how much they can still get her in there with her having another role on her schedule. So, with that being said, this doesn't necessarily mean 100% for sure that she's quitting, but that is a very likely possibility because, as we know, she was negotiating with AMC a lot about her pay on the show. And I was even talking about in my last video, I do think Maggie or Loran Cohan should be getting paid a lot more than other people on the show, because Maggie is a pretty big character for The Walking Dead. Like, I would even go as far as say, like, she's up there in the top 5 at the moment, or well, yeah, in the top 5, I would say, because when I think of the top 5 characters in The Walking Dead that are actually crucial to the story right now, that's going to be Rick, that's going to be Negan, Dwight, and Maggie. Those are like some of the big characters. Carl would have been that, but obviously they took him out. Those are some of the bigger characters that are going to be playing a massive role over the rest of this season and possibly even next season and beyond that. You know, those characters are important to the story right now. They're needed in the story, and Maggie is definitely needed in season 9 and beyond a little bit. So the fact that she may be leaving the show is a massive blow to The Walking Dead. I know they could recast her, because for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but there is a time jump coming up in the show in season 9. Like, season 9 is most likely going to start after a 2-year time skip. So with that being said, that would be the best time to recast any of the characters, as long as you know, I mean, because if you could find somebody that looks close enough but maybe a little bit older or something, then you know that could work. But at the same time, it's not like people just aren't going to notice that this is a different actor playing this character. And it's definitely going to have an effect on the show in that regard. But then, you know, you have the possibility that she's leaving for good and they just decide to kill her off. And I'm not going to spoil anything for the story just in case they still go down this route. But in the Walking Dead comics, Maggie is a pretty big important character going into this story arc after All Out War. Like, she has some pretty big stuff, and there's a few other character stories that intertwine with hers. And just thinking about taking Maggie out of this thing, we are going to lose a couple different story arcs, or at least a couple of big, really awesome pieces in these story arcs, and it's definitely going to hit the show hard. It's going to hurt, and I just don't really see the show being as good without that. I don't see the show really taking that hit well, and this could definitely drive a lot of people away from The Walking Dead. So with that being said, this is a big problem. Hopefully they come up with some solution to this. They come up with some way to keep Gary to stay, or maybe even, if it's possible, get her to come back every once in a while just to do an episode or two. And, you know, hopefully they manage to just tough it out and keep her in there until they get to a point where they can kill her off. But I really doubt it. Like, I really doubt it. I feel like if she's out, she's out. You know, like, because like I said, she has a lot of important story moments coming up. So with that being said, it's just going to it's going to really shake the story up, and they're going to have to get really creative, which could be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing. We've seen remixes go wrong in The Walking Dead. Andrea, for instance, Andrea's character remix, definitely not as good as the comic version. Dale's character remix, not as good as the comic version. Those are two characters they killed off earlier than they did in the comics, and because of that, those two characters were definitely not as good as they were in the comics. So with that being said, I really hope they don't go down this route, especially when you have the whole storyline with her and the baby, and you know Glenn just died and everything. Man, that's going to suck to just throw all that away. But with that being said, you also can't really blame the actress. I know a lot of people are saying this is pretty selfish of her to leave a show that pretty much made her in the acting community. You have to look at it like this. A couple things. If you're working in that industry, you don't want to be doing the same job forever. And The Walking Dead is a pretty long series. They've at least got, like, I'm guessing 4 or 5 more seasons that they can go through. So that's by the time she gets out of there, she's gonna be like, what, getting close to 40, I think. I hope I'm not getting her age wrong there, but I think I'm right. Also, when it comes to the Walking Dead, like, you know, like I said in my last video, Maggie is a big character. She should be getting paid around the same amount, I would say, as Daryl Dix. I know people love Norman Reedus, but she should be getting paid. She should be getting paid around the same amount, just simply because of how important her character is to the story. So with that being said, the fact that she's playing these big roles in the story and she's not getting paid as much as some other characters, then it's just kind of like, all right, well, this is kind of sucky. These guys are offering me more money. I'm gonna take that because, you know, I got bills to pay. I got life to handle, and I want to get paid more. So with that being said, you can't really blame her for this, because this is just business for her, and you know, she's got to do what she's got to do. And personally, I hope it all works out, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. ZFR out.